Good afternoon. Thanks, Quinita. And an incredible speech by both President Cyril Ramaphosa, who delivered the keynote address here. That was after Chief Justice Mandisa Maya, and some reflections on the past 30 years of the formation of the Constitutional Court. Let's bring in the Public Protector, Advocate Kholeka Gcaleka, is also here with us. It's great to talk to you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Michelle.
So the President talked a lot about the fact that the Constitutional Court is and has always been not just about being a legal entity or dealing with legal matters, but being a pillar of our democracy. Did that give you goosebumps? What else stood out for you?
No, most definitely. First, let me congratulate the Constitutional Court on this remarkable milestone. It is a pillar of our democracy. Listening closely to Justice Maya's opening remarks when she mentioned some of the remarkable cases that the Constitutional Court has had to deal with, it was the Nkandla judgment. And if we recall clearly, that was the review of the Public Protector's report, wherein the Constitutional Court confirmed the powers of the Public Protector to have binding powers on its remedial action, which was a turning point even for our institution and the authority of our institution. And indeed, our independent judiciary has been a true pillar to this democracy.
I mean, there are a lot of parallels, I think, that we can draw between the job of the Constitutional Court, the fact that it is founded on the basis of, even on this very campus where we are, pain, imprisonment, the remnants of an undemocratic apartheid system. The Public Protector's job, and particularly perhaps your tenure as Public Protector, comes on the back of a period of crisis at that institution as well.
No, most definitely. And even there, the Constitutional Court and the judiciary at large played a critical role in ensuring that the Public Protector's character remains that which is intended by our Constitution of being impartial, independent, doing its work without any fear, favor, or prejudice.
So for you, coming into a position like the Public Protector and having to, almost in a way, rebuild, coming in after a time of crisis, when we were talking off air, you were saying people want results. People want to see results, especially when they haven't seen results for some time. How do you even begin that process of rebuilding? And especially in a context where, I suppose, low morale also plays a part.
You have to balance. But most importantly, you must not forget the people who are actually doing the work. And that became my priority. I knew that South Africans wanted to see results. Alone, I could not produce results. I needed to ensure that the team that actually does the work is on board. And that becomes the priority. And as you can see, we are releasing reports. The team is working. Just over 2 weeks ago, we released the Doranginza report. On Wednesday this week, we actually released the report into the Lexington Stadium. But that is all about teamwork. And as a leader of the institution, the focus for me had to be the team. And it is the team that actually produces the work. But I'm thankful to South Africans who've actually been patient with us as the Public Protector, who've supported us and who've worked with us. But also the support from the courts, confirming our mandate, which has given us a lot of direction in this period when we were transforming and rebuilding the institution.
Yeah. I mean, part of what the President had to say was about how the Constitutional Court has stood up against the executive over the separation of powers issue. And the court stood firm and it withstood political pressure. Again, to draw a parallel between the ConCourt and your office as a Chapter 9 institution, what your office is also doing is holding the executive accountable, and the Lexington Stadium issue from this week shows that.
Most definitely. I mean, the Constitutional Court, in many other cases, where it stood firm on abuse of power by the executive. I mean, most recently also the amendments that it has called to the Executive Ethics Code, which is, by the way, also part of the remedial action of the Public Protector, where the Public Protector has called for the amendment to the Executive Members Ethics Act. So, as you say, there are a a lot of similarities in the functioning. And by the way, the establishment of the public protector in its current form as a transformation from the traditional ombudsman, which our country used to have and many countries continue to have, was for the public protector to be an alternative to the courts, to be cost effective, to finalize matters more speedily. But most importantly, what the President has touched on, the court role of our courts, to ensure that we also assist so that other matters don't clog the role of the court. The public protector is able to speedily finalize those matters so that the courts, and particularly the Constitutional Court, can deal with the most serious matters, and particularly the matters that have the constitutional impact.
Advocate Kholeka Gcaleka, thank you for talking to us this afternoon. And yeah, there are, Stephen, a lot of parallels to be drawn to between the Constitutional Court and the Public Protector. Just this week, the Public Protector releasing, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, that report into Lesserton Stadium in the Eastern Cape, 22 million rand spent on that stadium and very little to show for it. The previous week, visiting a surprise visit to Dora Ngenza Hospital and the appalling conditions that residents have been complaining about there. It's about holding the executive to account, as she says, and in many cases, an institution like the Constitutional Court stands as the apex, which we call it, right? We call it the apex court. It is the final arbiter of legal matters in South Africa, holding the arms of government accountable, Stephen.